Chapter 3.3. Okay, this section is about solving general equations. So let's say we have an equation, something like this, in this format. ax plus bx equals c. So solving this equation means we will change this equation into a variable. X is equal to something. X equals something. Then this will be the solution of this equation. So we have to get rid of the left-hand side contains the x term and constant term. So we have to get rid of this b. So move this b to the right and then get rid of this a. That's what we do. Okay, so in order to solve for the example 1, okay, solve this equation. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rewrite this equation so that it will be x equals something. Right, x equals something, and this will be the solution. So here is x. Okay, the left-hand side contains two terms. One is 3x and minus 7. So let's always get rid of the second term. So minus 7, move minus 7. So how do you get rid of this minus 7? Add the opposite of this, which is 7. So add 7 to each side. Then we have 3x on the left. So 3x is equal to 2. And the next step is, we already know how to get rid of this 3, right? So what we do is get rid of this 3 by dividing each side what? By dividing each side by 3. So that the left-hand side is x is equal to, cancel out this 3, 2/3. 2/3. So 2/3 is the solution of this equation. All right, let's try the next one. Problem number 1. Okay, same thing. There is 5x and 7 on one side. 5x and 7. So get rid of this plus 7 first. So minus 7 each side. From each side. Then the left-hand side is 5x is equal to 7 and negative 7 minus 7 cancel out. Is 3. And then next, get rid of this 5 by dividing each side. You have to divide each side. So that we have x, the left-hand side is x is equal to 3/5, 3/5. So that's the solution. All right, let's try example 2. Now the right-hand side of the equation has x term. And there are two terms, 9 and negative 2x. So we will leave negative 2x on the right and get rid of this 9. So 9 is positive, so what we do is add negative 9 each side. Negative 9 each side. Then 5 minus 9 is negative 4. 9 minus 9 cancel out, negative 2x. All right, so on the right-hand side, the right side is 2x times x, negative 2 times x, negative 2 times x, so divide each side by what? 2 or negative 2? Negative 2, right? Negative 2. Because we want to leave x on one side, so get rid of the coefficient. So the right side is x, the left-hand side is, negative divided by negative is positive. Negative divided by negative is positive, or multiplying negative by negative is positive, dividing negative by negative is positive. And then cancel out, reduce 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 2 equals x. And then we will interchange the side. So x equals 2. So 2 is the solution. Okay, problem number 2. Same thing. The right-hand side has variable x. So let's get rid of this 11. So minus 11 each side. Now 11 is positive, the opposite is minus 11. Then the left-hand side is 0. The right-hand side is 3x. Okay, same thing. We want to remove this 3. Remove this 3. So what we do is divide each side by 3. Then what is 0/3? 0/3 is 0, right? 0/3 is 0. The right side is just x. So interchange the side, then x is 0. So 0 is the solution. Sometimes students get confused with 0 divided by 3. Okay, look. Very important. 0 divided by some number is 0. But if you divide 3 by 0, then this is not 0. This is undefined. Undefined. Very important. Undefined. If the denominator is 0, it's undefined. Denominator is 0, undefined. A number cannot be divided by 0. Okay, that's really, really important. Really important. Why is it? Why is it? Okay, let's prove this. Let's divide 0 by 3. Then what goes to the quotient? 0, right? 0. So 3 times 0 is 0. Subtract is 0. So that is 0. So 0 divided by 3 is 0. Divided by a non-zero number is 0. So if the numerator is 0, then the result is 0. How about this? Why is that? Okay, let's divide 3 by 0. Divide 3 by 0, then what should be here? What should be here? 0 times something is 0. Always this is 0. Always this is 0, right? Even this can be 1, 2, 3, whatever the quotient is. This is always 0, right? 0. So it's undefined. It's undefined. Undefined, right? Undefined. Okay, so if the denominator is 0, it's undefined. Denominator is 0, undefined. Denominator is 0, undefined. Okay, so don't forget this. All right, next, example 3. Okay, this equation contains fraction. Then, we don't like fractions. We don't like the denominator. So let's get rid of the denominators. Okay, the first step is find the LCD. Okay, this is very important. Find the LCD. In this case, the LCD is 3 times 4, right? 3 times 4, which is 12. So once you find the LCD, multiply the equation. Multiply the equation by the LCD so that we can remove the denominators. Okay, so LCD is 12, so I'm going to multiply. Okay, let me write the equation again. 2/3 plus 1/4 x is equal to negative 1/3. So I'm going to multiply this equation by the LCD, which is 12. So let's multiply the left-hand side of the equation by 12. The right-hand side by what? 12. All right. So this is an equation. So you have to if you multiply one side by some number, then also you have to multiply the other side by the same number. All right. Then what do? Distribute, right? Distribute. So 12 times 2/3 plus 12 times 1/4 x is equal to this one. You can reduce, right? You can reduce. Okay, we can write it like this. 12/3, like this. Okay, let me rewrite it again because I want to show you a step. So this is 1/3, negative 1/3 times 12, right? Okay, let's compare this equation with the original. Look at this. 2/3, right? 2/3, here's the original equation. 2/3 is multiplied by what? 12, right? And the 1/4 x, the second term is multiplied by 12. And the right side, negative 1/3 is multiplied by 12, right? So this means we can just eliminate the second step. You can eliminate this step because we can multiply each term by the LCD. All right, then let's simplify each term. So reduce 12 divided by 3 is what? 4, right? 4. Okay, let me just skip this part. Okay, 4, right? 4. So that is equal to 4 times 2 is... All right, I think I better write it here. Okay, this is 1, this is 4. So 4 times 2 is... Right, so 4 times 2 is 8. Plus, reduce 3, so that is 3x is equal to reduce negative 4. So as you see this equation, the denominators are gone. We just eliminated the denominators. And the next step is simple. What do? Okay, 3x, the x term is on the left, so that we need to get rid of this 8. So minus 8 each side, right? Minus 8 each side. Okay, let's go to the right. Minus 8 each side. Then the left-hand side is 3x is equal to negative 12. And divide each side by what? 3. Because we want to remove this 3, right? Remove the 3. This 3 times x. So divided by 3. Then x is equal to negative 4. So the solution is negative 4. X is negative 4. Okay, let's try P3. Let's try P3. Same thing. What is the LCD? Okay, what is the LCD? LCD is 2 times 3, so 6. And 6 is the multiple of these numbers, 2 and 3. So let's multiply each side by, okay, let me write the original equation. That is equal to 12. So I'm going to multiply each side by 6. That means multiply each term. Okay, the first term by 6, the second term by 6. Let me write it over here in the numerator part. 6, right? And then simplify each term. So 6 divided by 3, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that is 3. Okay, let me erase with this one. That is 3, right? So 3 times 5 is 15. Minus, that is 2. 6 over 3 is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4x. Reduce, that is 3, right? So 1 times 3 is 3. So this equation does not contain any denominators. So it's much easier to calculate. And then 4x is over here. So get rid of this 15 by subtracting 15 from each side. Then we have negative 4x is equal to negative 12. All right, next. Okay, negative 4 times x. We want to rewrite it so that the equation should be x equals something. Let's get rid of this negative 4 by dividing what? Negative 4 by negative 4. So from this, x is equal to, negative over negative is positive. That reduces, so that will be 3. So the answer is 3. The solution is 3. X equals 3. Okay, let's try example 4. Okay, example 4, we will do the same thing. Okay, what is the LCD? The LCD is 2 times 3, which is 6, right? 6. So 6 is the multiple of all these 3 numbers, 2, 3, and 6. So why don't we multiply the whole equation? Get the whole equation by what? 6. Okay, let's multiply this by 6. So multiply the first term by 6, multiply the second term by 6. You know, when you multiply the number, it should be multiplied to the numerator, right? Okay, then reduce. 6 over 2 is 3. 6 over 3 is 2. 6 cancel out. So we have 3x plus 2 times 2 is 4 is equal to 1. And then what do? Okay, get rid of this plus 4. So minus 4 each side. Then 3x is equal to negative 3. And then divide each side by what? 3. So x equals negative 1. So this is the solution. X equals negative 1. All right, let's try next one, problem 4. Okay, do you want to try this? Okay, then pause this and then start. Okay, are you done? All right, let me find the LCD first. So this one contains LCD, right? LCD. Denominator. So the LCD is, isn't it 8? 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 is a multiple of all these three numbers. So why don't we multiply the equation? 3 over 2 is equal to 3x over 8. So let's multiply the equation by 8. That means multiply every term, all the terms by 8. This one by 8, this one by 8. All right, then reduce. So when you reduce this, always the denominator will be removed. Always, right, always. 8 cancel out. So 2 times x is 2x. Okay, 2x. Can you see it? This is 2x plus 3 times 4 is 12. And then 8 cancel out, so we have 3x. Okay, look at this. This equation contains two variable terms. Here is 2x and 3x on the other side. Okay, then what do we do? Okay, we have to collect. Okay, collect x terms. X terms on one side. All right. So why don't we move 2x to the other side? I think it is better to move this one to the right because why? Because once you move 2x to the right, then we have only x terms on the right hand side. But if you move 3x to the left, then the left hand side it has 2x and this term and 12 as well. So it is better to move 2x to the right. So minus 2x each side. Then the left hand side is just 12. And right side is 3x minus 2x. So 3x minus 2x is equal to just x. Done. So interchange the side. Then x is 12. So 12 is the solution. Okay, now let's solve equations of this form. Okay, this form has variable x and constant on each side. So first of all, we have to make it. So first we need to collect x terms, right? Collect x terms on one side. So the first step is collect x terms on one side. And also collect variable terms of the constants on the other side. That's what we do. So first, in this case, we have to remove this. Let's say cx, x term, this x term to the left. Move this one to the left, right? And then move. So we have ax and cx on one side, and then move this bx to the right. So get rid of this one. So this b should move to the right, and then this x term should move to the left. Alright, so using this definition, let's solve example 5. Okay, we have 4x and 8x separate. Two x terms are separated, so let's collect those on one side. So why don't we move 8x to the left? So 8x, so get rid of this ax from the right. So we have to subtract 8x from each side, right? All right, then 4x minus 8x is equal to negative 4x. Minus 3 equals, okay, 8x cancel out, minus 7, negative 7. Okay, next step. Since we collected all x terms to the left and calculated, simplified, so that we can move now minus 3 to the other side. So get rid of the minus 3, that means add 3 to each side. So we have negative 4x on one side, negative 3 cancel out, and the right side is negative 4. Alright, then use the standard method. Get rid of negative 4 so that we have to divide each side. Then x is equal to positive 1. Right? Done. So when x terms are separated, one is, x terms are on each side, then collect x terms. Collect x terms and then move constant to the other side. So let's try to do the same thing. Okay, we have 5x on the left, 10x on the right. So why don't we move 10x from the right to the left? So get rid of 10x from the right side. So minus 10x. Then 5 minus 10 is, combine the like terms. Negative 5x plus 4 equals 6. Next, we want 5x stays on one side. So move minus 4. Move 4 to the other side. Get rid of it. Then minus 5x equals 2. Next, this is negative 5 times x, so divide each side by negative 5. Then finally, x is equal to what? Negative, move to the front, 2 over 5. Okay, that's the solution. Okay, let's try next one. Okay, next example is, solve equations containing parentheses. Okay, if an equation has parentheses, then what do we do? Remove the parentheses, clear the parentheses. How? Use the distribution property. So for example, a times, here is a times b plus c. Okay, here is a times b plus c. Then how do you clear the parentheses? Distribute, right? Distribute. So a times b plus a times c. This is what we have. So always, if there's a parenthesis, then clear the parenthesis. So let's try this. Example 6. Okay, this is we have a parenthesis, 2 minus x within the parenthesis. So why don't we distribute? Okay, distribute this. So negative 8 multiply 4 and 2. So negative 8 and multiply negative x by what? Negative 4. Then that is positive 4x. Can you see it? Positive 4x? Because negative 4 times negative x is positive. Okay, let me. Alright. Okay. Can you see how we got this 4x? This is negative 4 times negative x is (4x). Okay, is equal to distribute 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2x is minus 6, minus 4. Okay. All right, then look at this. There are 2 terms on the left, 2x terms on the left and 1 on the right. So in this case, why don't we simplify each side first? Each side. So before we remove x terms, variable terms, let's simplify. Okay, simplify each side first. Simplify each side first. Okay, simplify. So simplify means combine the like terms. So 3x and 4. 3x and 4x is 7x, right? 7x minus 8 is equal to 3x. Okay, this is negative 6 minus 4. Negative 6 minus 4. Combine the like terms. Then that is negative 10, right? Negative 10. So we simplified each side. So next step is x terms are separated, so let's move 1 from the other side. Okay, let's move 3x from the right to the left. Then this is 4x minus 8 equals negative 10. So we have only x term on one side, so move minus 8 to the right, plus 8. Then 4x is equal to negative 2. All right, next. Okay, this is 4 times x. So what do? Divide. Divided by what? 4. Good. So we have the answer. X is equal to negative 1 over 2. That's the solution. All right, let's try the problem number 6. Okay, why don't you try this? Okay, did you get the answer? All right. So let's do it together. Here is 5x. Distribute, right? Distribute. Then negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. What is this guy? So negative 4 times negative 2x. That is positive 8x. Can you see it? Okay, don't get confused. Okay, what we do is multiply 4 and negative 2x. So in this case, negative 2x times what? Negative 4. Okay, so that is this guy, 8x. Okay, next. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 2. So that is negative 4 plus 6. All right, so let's simplify each term because here is 5x and 8x. The right side is negative 4 and 6. So combine the like terms. Okay, so simplify each side means combine the like terms, right? Combine the like terms. All right, so we can add these two and then add these two. So 5x plus 8x is 13x minus 12 is equal to 6x. Negative 4 plus 6. Negative 4 plus 6 is 2 plus 2. All right. And then what we do is x terms are separated. So move one variable term to the other side. So let's move 6x from the right to the left. So minus 6x. Okay, then 13 minus 6 is 7. 7x minus 12 is equal to 2. Okay, finally, let's get rid of minus 12. So plus 12 each side. Then 7x, okay, 12 cancel out is equal to 14, right? And then finally, what do? Okay, this is 7x, so let's get rid of this 7 by dividing each side by 7. So x equals 2. So that's the solution. That's the solution. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, example 7, solve the equation. Okay, as you can see this equation, there is a parenthesis, but this parenthesis inside a bracket. Here's one bracket. You know, bracket is also parenthesis. There's an inner parenthesis. So we will use a bracket, and here is parenthesis. Do you remember the order of operations, PEMDAS? Okay, PEMDAS means what? If there's a parenthesis, we have to clear the parenthesis first. So here's a bracket. So before we remove the bracket, here is an inner bracket. So we have to clear this parenthesis first. Okay, always inside. Okay, in order to clear this bracket, we have to remove this parenthesis first. Okay, remove inner parenthesis first. So, okay, 3 stays, the bracket stays. And then, let's distribute. 2x times negative 4. 2x times negative 4 is, okay, we gotta multiply this by negative 4. Okay, negative 4. So 2x and negative 1 should be multiplied by negative 4. So that is minus 8x. And negative 4 minus 1 is plus 4. Okay, can you see it? Negative 4 minus 1 is plus 4, positive 4. Okay. Now, before we distribute, let's simplify the bracket. Simplify the bracket first. So combine the like terms, 2 and 4. 2 plus 4 is 6 minus 8x is equal to 4x minus 10. Okay, so combine. Combine. What we did is we just combined these like terms. We just combined the like terms, right? All right, then next step is distribute so that we can clear the bracket. So 3 times 6 is 18. 8x times 8 is minus 24x is equal to 4x minus 10. All right, so we just cleared the bracket, parentheses and the bracket, and then we have one. We just have, simple equation like this. Okay, since x terms are separated, what do? Collect, move. So our move 4x from right to the left. Usually we move variable terms from right to the left. So minus 4x each side. Then this is 18 minus 28 minus 28x is equal to negative 10. Now get rid of what? 18, right? 18. So minus 18 each side. Okay. Then negative 28x is equal to negative 28. Okay, this is negative 28x. So why don't we remove this negative 28? How? You're right. Divide by what? 28, no, negative 8, 28. Negative 28. Okay, negative 28 divided by negative 28. The whole number, this number. So finally, x is equal to 1. Positive 1. Negative over negative is positive. Okay. Problem 7. Why don't you try this? Okay, good. Did you get the answer? What's the answer? I don't know. Let's check it out. So we have a bracket. So in order to simplify this bracket, there is a parenthesis. So we have to clear the parentheses first by using the distribution property. So 2x and negative 3 should be multiplied by what? Negative 5, right? Negative 5. Okay. So negative 2 stays, bracket, 3x. Okay, 2x times negative 5 is minus 10x. Negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15. So plus 15. Okay, and then simplify the bracket because here are two like terms, 3x and negative and 10x. So let's combine these two. So 3 minus 10 is 7. 7x plus 15 is equal to 3x minus 8. Okay, then what? Distribute, right? Distribute the bracket. So negative 2 times negative 7 is negative 14x. Negative 2 times, okay, negative 2 times 15 is negative 30. 3x minus 8. Okay, next. X terms are separated. So move variable term from the right to the left. So 3x, so minus 3x each side. Then negative 17x minus 30 is equal to negative 8. Okay, next. Get rid of this 30, so plus 30 each side. Then negative 17x is equal to positive 22. And then the number is not good, huh? The number is not good. this negative 17 times x, so divide each side by negative 17. So finally the answer is negative moves to the front, 22 over 17. Okay, that's the answer. I found an error. So, okay, the answer is incorrect. Look at this. When you combine this 3x and minus 10x, that is negative 7x, right? This is negative 7x. So once we multiply negative 7x and 2x, it is positive 14, right? Positive 14. All right. Then 14 minus 3 is positive 11, right? Okay, positive 11. So this is positive 11. Not right. So that is equal to 11x is equal to 22. So now divide each side by what? 11, right? 11. So finally x is equal to 2. All right, there was an error. So we fixed the error. So the solution is 2. Okay, these are application problems. Okay, V is the value, depreciated value after 10 years, depreciated values of a milling machine after 2 years. So here's a milling machine. When you buy a new machine, it is the original price is fixed. But as time passes, the value of the machine decreases. So that's the depreciated value. So the original cost, C is the original cost, minus 6,000 T. This is the formula. The formula is given, the equation is given. So if the original cost is C, right? C. So 5,000 is the value of the original cost, C. The question is, how many years is T, right? After T years, will the depreciated value be $38,000? So the depreciated value, so this is the value of V, right? V, depreciated value. So what we do is plug in all these numbers. All right, so let's rewrite it. So V is, okay, from the equation is V is equal to C minus 6,000 T. And V is given, C is given. We want to find T. So V value is 38,000 is equal to C is 50,000 minus 6,000 T. All right, so we have an equation. So from this equation, let's find T. Okay, what we do is get rid of this 50,000. So minus $50,000 from each side. Okay, then 38 minus 50 is negative 12,000, right? Is equal to negative 6,000 T. And then this is 6,000 times T. So divide each side by negative 6,000. Then from this, okay, the left hand side is 2. Okay, 2 is equal to T. So finally, T is equal to, interchange the side. T is the number of years. So the answer is 2 years. So the original cost of the milling machine is $50,000. So 2 years later, after 2 years, the value of the machine will be decreased to $38,000. Does it make sense? Okay, the problem 8 is similar to this. Okay, when you deposit or invest certain amount, then you will get interest, right? So this equation gives the value after you invest $7,500, after 2 years. So the question is, okay, V is the value of the investment of $7,500 after T years. Okay, after T years. So how many years? So we are looking for We are looking for t, right? T. Will the value of $7,500 investment. So after you invest this amount, the value will be $10,200. So this will be the value after certain years. So let's find t. Okay, in order to find t, let's plug in all these values. Okay, this is the equation given, right? And the v value, the value after t years is 10,200. And then 7,500. Okay, so this is the equation. From this equation, let's find t. Okay, how to find t? Okay, t is the variable term, right? So let's get rid of this 7,500 from the right hand side. So minus 7,500. Okay, from each side. Then the left hand side is, okay, this is equal to, is it 1,700? No, 2,700, right? Is equal to 450 t. 2,700. Okay, and then divide each side by what? This is 450 times t. So divide each side by 450. All right. Then 2,700 divided by 4,700. Okay, let's try 6. 6 is 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 6 is 300. So this is equal to 6, right? 6. Or you use the calculator. Then 6 is equal to t. So finally, interchange the side. Then t is 6. T is the number of years. So after 6 years, if you invest $7,500, then you get, it becomes $10,000 and $10,200. So after 6 years. Okay, next examples are for balance questions, balance formula. Okay, let's take a note on this one. Here is a balance. Okay, the balance, and if two people with different weights are sitting on each side, end of each side, then the fulcrum, okay, the fulcrum should be, the location of fulcrum will make it balanced. So if force, let's say the left hand side, the weight of the left hand side person is, the weight is F1, and if the fulcrum is close to the F1, then the left hand side person has more weight. Okay, more weight, right? I'm sorry. More weight. So the formula is very simple. The formula is the force of this person and the distance from the person, one end, to the fulcrum is D1, should be equal to the product of the force to the second person on the other side times the distance from the fulcrum to that person. Okay, so F1 times D1 is equal to F2 times D2. That is the equation, really simple equation. All right, so let's, the example 9 is this. Here is a bar, 10 feet long bar, and one person is on the left hand side whose weight is 100 pounds. 100 pounds. And on the other side, 400-pound person is sitting on the other end. All right, then where should we locate the fulcrum? So let's say, okay, X is the distance from the 100-pound person to the fulcrum. Then what is the distance? What is the distance from the fulcrum to the other end? Okay, that is the total. Okay, this distance should be, the length of the bar is 10 feet. So this is 10 minus x feet, isn't it? Because the total is, this is total minus x. Total minus x. The length of the bar is 10. So this length should be what? 10 minus x. So based on this, let's write an equation. Okay, the equation is force 1 times d1 is equal to force 2 times d2. So force 1 is 100 pound, d1 is x, and then the right hand side is 400 pound person times the distance from the fulcrum is 10 minus x. So this is the equation. So from this equation, let's find x. Then x is the fulcrum's distance away from 100 pounds. Okay, so how do you simplify? Okay, distribute. So 4,000 minus 400 x, distribute. Okay, distribute. All right, and then let's collect the x terms. X terms are separated, so let's move from right to the left. That is 400x. So we have 500x is equal to 4,000. And then we gotta divide each side by what? Good, 500. Then x is equal to 8. Right, 8. So 8 is in feet, so if the fulcrum is 8 feet away from 100 pound person, then it will keep the balance. Even, the second person on the other side is 400 pounds. Does it make sense? So what we do is just multiply. Okay, multiply. Very simple. Multiply what? Force 1 times d1 equals force 2 times d2. All right, I have a message here, so just ignore the message, please. All right, problem 9. Why don't you try this? Okay, good. So same thing. Okay, one person is 40 pounds. That person is on the left-hand side, and the fulcrum is 6 feet away from this 40 pound. Then the distance, the d2, the distance from the fulcrum to the other person is what? Total minus 6. Total minus 6. So 14. The length of the bar is 14 feet. So 14 minus 6 is equal to 8 feet, right? 8 feet. This is 8 feet. So the formula is, what's the formula? Okay, F1 times D1 is equal to F2 times D2. And F1 is 40 pounds. And the distance is 6 feet. So that should be equal to F2, the weight of the second person, times D2. D2 is what? 8 feet. So from this, why don't we divide each side by what? Divide each side by 8. Right? So, okay, why don't I, okay, so that F2, the right hand side is F2, right? F2. So F2 is the weight of the second person on the right side. So F2 is equal to 40 times 60 over 6. 8. So reduce, then 3, 4, and then 40 divided by 4 is 10. So 10 times 3 is 30. So F2, the weight of the second person is 30 pounds. Okay, that's it, huh? So multiply the left hand side. So F1 times D1 is equal to the right hand side, F2 times D2. Okay, we are done.